Namaste, welcome to this fifth yoga session, and this session is specially on pranayam practices, breathing practices, pranayam, mudra and bandha. Okay, there are different practices in the tradition of yoga. So, we are going to start with prayer, sitting comfortable and straight, eyes gently closed, hands in Namaskar Mudra prayer position. Slowly inhale. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Slowly release your hands. Keep your eyes closed as it is, sitting comfortable and straight with closed eyes. Please be aware of your normal, natural breathing process. How the breathing is happening at its own, naturally. Your speed of the breath, depth of the breath, how the movement of prana is happening. And now physically, mentally prepare yourself for Kapalabhati, rhythmic and active exhalation, passive inhalation without fluctuation, rhythmic strokes from the lower abdominal region. So, you can start first round of Kapalabhati. During Kapalabhati, your focus should be on your lower abdominal region, and with each stroke, you will get the feeling of, slight feeling of Mool Bandha. That means Kapalabhati is happening properly. Kapala, forehead or your skull. Bhati means shine, to glow. It glows your face. That is why Kapalabhati. And Bhati, Bhata means a blower of a blacksmith, you know. So, how the blower of a blacksmith is working to activate the fire. In the same way, your diaphragm is working like a bellow of a blacksmith. So, that is why Kapalabhati. Please take rest for some time, let the breathing become normal. So, because of this rapid movement of your diaphragm, the active exhalation is happening. Because of this active exhalation, your lungs are getting squeezed actively. That is why the residual air is thrown out. So, Kapalabhati is very good residual wash for your lungs. After having a normal breath, you can proceed for second round of Kapalabhati. Our lungs is nothing but one spongy structure in which approximately 2400 milliliter air is stored, which is the stale air known as residual air. And in any other practice of pranayam or breathing practice, this residual air is not getting exchanged at all. Only Kapalabhati is the practice through which almost more than half of the residual air is getting replaced with the oxygen, fresh air. That is why it improves your immunity. Again, let the breathing become normal. So as breathing becomes little fast, so blood circulation improves, pulse rate improves, blood pressure increases. So those already suffering from high blood pressure, they should avoid it or practice it very slowly. You can practice Kapalabhati 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds as per your capacity, as per your speed. So not to compare with the others in any yoga practice. Now again observe the changes in your breathing pattern. Whenever you will have a normal breath, you will prepare for the next practice that is known as Agni Sar Kriya. Agni means a fire. So Agni Tattva or fire element is present in our body in the form of gastric fire. This Agni Sar Kriya is done in standing. So I will request Swarup to come in standing, and those Agnisar, Udyan Bandh, Nauli Kriya, those Kriyas that it should be visible properly, I will request him to remove the shirt so that you can observe those moments and Kriyas very easily and practice it properly, understand it properly and practice it properly. In Agnisar Kriya, you are supposed to inhale fully first. After that, exhale completely. During exhalation, your abdominal region is going in. Keep the abdominal wall tight as it is, and then you are bulging it out and again taking it in. So did 2 and 4th moment of the abdominal wall with control. That is known as Agni Sar Kriya, means stimulation of the gastric fire. Now Swarup is ready for that. So first we will practice 3 rounds of Agni Sar Kriya. So slowly, first inhale, then exhale all the way, complete exhalation, bending at the knees, pressing your palms on your thighs, and then move your abdominal region out and in, keeping the abdominal wall tight. So how many times you are able to move the abdominal wall, it depends on your lungs capacity or breathing capacity. In the beginning maybe 4 times, 5 times, after the practice maybe 8 to 10 times, 15 times you will be able to give that moment. But not rapid moment, not very fast moment. It's very controlled moment. It stimulates your gastric fire. So that is why very good for those who are having weak, poor appetite, or those who are having weak digestion. For them it is very effective. Before feeling suffocated, you will stop, inhale, take a normal breath for some time, and then again proceed for the next round. As this human body and the nature is created with 5 gross elements, that is ether, air, fire, water and earth. So fire is present in our body in the form of gastric fire, which is responsible for our digestion. Take rest now for some time. After this Agni Sar Kriya, now we are going to proceed further for Udyan Bandha. There are different locks, bandhas, locks. Udyan Bandha is the lock for the lower abdominal region. So actually it's a pelvis region, lower abdominal region, in which again you are inhaling first, and after that you are going to exhale all the way, and then you are tucking the belly button, you are tucking your abdominal region in all the way. Imagine that you want to touch your belly button to the spine, and imagine to lift your organs up, not only in but in and up, so that it will create the cave like structure in your abdominal region below the bottom rib. That is Udyan Bandha. Again, now inhale first, then with exhale, you are bending down, bending at the knees, pressing your palms on your thighs, and then suck your abdominal region in and lifting the organs up, creating a cave-like structure. So, exactly from the sternum and bottom ribs, they are clearly visible. You can maintain according to your capacity, maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds also. After the practice, you will improve your lungs capacity in such a way that you will be able to maintain this Uddiyana Bandh for till 30 or 40 seconds also. It is possible by the practice. Once again, I will request to proceed. Observe it carefully, practice it carefully. I will request not to practice without guidance. Please practice under the proper guidance of a proper yoga teacher. Relax, take rest. So, this is Uddiyana Bandh. Day by day, you can increase the number of attempts of Agnisar also and Uddiyana Bandh also. Okay. Now, after this, the further development of Agnisar and Uddiyana Bandh in combination is known as Nauli Kriya. In Nauli Kriya, you are going to maintain Uddiyana Bandh first, and after that, you are going to relax your middle abdominal region so that Nauli will come, that is known as Madhya Nauli. When your intestine, your abdominal muscles are coming at the center. Okay. Then after that, when you are shifting the pressure of your palm, then it will shift to your left side and then to the right side. So that is, left side is your Vama Nauli, right side is your Dakshin Nauli, and then Nauli Chalan, rotation like a churner. Okay. So first, in first attempt, I am requesting him to show the Madhya Nauli first. Central Nauli. Madhya means the center. Exhale fully, then going in Uddiyana, and then slowly show Madhya Nauli. See, now two caves are created to the sides and your muscles are coming at the center. This is Madhya Nauli, center Nauli. Now, I am requesting him to show in the next attempt Dakshina Nauli and Vama Nauli. Dakshina means the right side and Vama means the left side. For that first, yes. So now he is showing it to the left side, Vama Nauli, and then now to the right side, that is Dakshina Nauli. So the intestine is shifting to one side. It's not so easy. So, but don't be panic or don't worry about that. By the practice, you will be able to do it very easily. And now, in the third attempt, I am requesting him to show the Nauli Chalan, rotation of the Nauli. That can be from both the direction, clockwise and counterclockwise. That is Nauli Chalan. Okay. It is moving just like a churner, you know. So, this is Nauli Chalan. Okay. So, thank you. Now, I request him to come in sitting. So, after practicing this Agnisar, Uddiyana Bandh and Nauli Kriya, these are preparatory practices for advanced pranayama, because it improves your lungs capacity, holding capacity, so that you can practice Kumbhak properly, holding of the breath properly. and during pranayam, Mool Bandha, Jalandhar Bandha and Uddiyan Bandha, all three bandhas should be adopted properly to get the proper benefit of pranayam, because the ultimate aim of practicing pranayam is to channelize your prana in Sushumna Nadi, in Madhya Nadi. That is the aim of practicing pranayam. And without kumbhak and without bandhas, it is not possible. That is why practicing pranayam properly with kumbhak and adopting proper bandhas, then only you will be able to channelize your prana in Madhya Nadi or Sushumna Nadi. Now sitting comfortable and straight in any position, preferably if possible in Padmasana or Siddhasana, but not compulsory. Or you can sit in Vajrasana, you can sit on the chair, whichever is comfortable for you, and you will be able to sit straight, because pranayam practices are to control the mind, relax the mind. But if you are having pain in the neck, in the knee, and numbness in the legs or lower back pain because of the sitting position, and your mind is getting diverted towards all those painful areas, how can you get the benefit of pranayam? That is why position should be very comfortable. And from here, we are going to practice now Nadi Shodhan Pranayam. In Nadi Shodhan Pranayam, you are going to inhale through the left nostril, counting the numbers in your mind, then hold the breath, twice of inhalation, double time of inhalation, then exhale through the right nostril for double time of inhalation. Then inhale through the right, hold for double time, and exhale through the left for double time. In this way, maintaining the round ratio of 1, 2, 2. You can start. It should be very slow and controlled breathing process. Focus should be on your controlled breathing only. Abdominal region remains under control. You are going to adopt Mool Bandha throughout, contracting your anal sphincters and perineal region throughout. That is Mool Bandha, root lock. After inhalation, after Purak process, you will adopt Jalandhar Bandha and then Uddiyan Bandha during Kumbhak. Whereas when you are releasing your Kumbhak, before that you should release your Uddiyan Bandha, then Jalandhar Bandha, and then you start your Rechak, that is exhalation. In between, whenever you will feel tired during those practices, anytime you can take rest, you can relax in sitting, Vishramasana, or you can take rest in Shavasana also. I will recommend that practicing pranayam is must. That should be done every day. If you take a leave, if you take off from asana practices, from your any exercise, jogging, walking, gym, whatever you are doing, and if you take a off of a day in a week, doesn't matter. But pranayam practices should be every day without fail. Okay. Then you will get a proper benefit of pranayam and relaxation to the mind. After this Nadi Shodhan Pranayam, now we are going to practice the traditional way of practicing Bhastrika Pranayam. because Bhastrika pranayam is practiced in modified way, only active inhalation and active exhalation. But we want to practice Bhastrika in a traditional way, in which 40 strokes of Kapalabhati, active Kapalabhati. At the time of the last stroke, you will exhale completely, and immediately after that, you will practice one round of Surya Bhedan Pranayam, that is inhalation through the right, holding the breath, and exhalation through the left. That's it. So overall, it becomes one round of Bhastrika Pranayam as per the tradition. Okay. So sitting comfortable and straight, eyes closed. Now start to practice Kapalabhati, active Kapalabhati. That will be active than the usual Kapalabhati. So 40 strokes. You can start. At the time of the last stroke, you are exhaling completely. Immediately inhale through the right nostril, Surya Nadi. Count the numbers. Then hold the breath. Adopt Bandha. Double time of inhalation, you are going to hold the breath, that is Kumbhak. After finishing your Kumbhak, then you will exhale for double time of inhalation. That means the round ratio for this Surya Bhedan Pranayam is 1:2:2. So 40 strokes Kapalabhati and one round of Surya Bhedan Pranayam with the round ratio of 1:2:2 with all three bandhas. After exhalation through the left nostril, inhale little for the preparation of Kapalabhati for the next round, and again start Kapalabhati. 40 strokes. Exhale completely at the time of the 40th stroke, and immediately inhale through the right nostril, hold the breath, Kumbhak with bandhas. So there are a lot of things together. You need to concentrate on all those things, adopting bandhas, then counting the numbers, which nostril you are going to inhale, which nostril you are going to exhale. All those things should be together. In this way only it will improve your body-mind coordination and it will improve your concentration. And one more round of Bhastrika. So this is the actual traditional Bhastrika Pranayam. This is very good for Kapha dosh, but those who are having hypertension, hyperacidity, or suffering from heart problems, they should not practice this, or this pranayam should not be practiced in hot season, in summer. Whereas in winter, it is very helpful. Take rest for some time with the normal breathing, and then as a counterbalance, we will practice cooling pranayam, that is Shitali or Sitkari. There are two cooling pranayama explained in the tradition. Shitali, in which you are supposed to fold the outer edge of your tongues and making a tube of a tongue and inhale through the tube of a tongue. Many people are not able to fold the tongue, so that is why if you are not able to make the tube of a tongue like this for Shitali, then the other option is Sitkari, in which you are closing the jaws, keeping your teeth together like this, and your tongue is against your teeth, and then you are inhaling from the sides and upper part of the tongue. like this. When you eat a chili or when you drink a hot coffee and you burn your tongue, that time what you do? In that way. So Sitkari, cooling pranayam. So whichever is comfortable for you, you can practice it. I will request him to show Shitali pranayam first, if it is possible. As we are practicing it first time, that is why we are going to exhale through both the nostrils as it is. But in the traditional way, you are supposed to inhale through the mouth, hold the breath, and then exhale through the left nostril. That is the actual way of practicing this Shitali or Sitkari pranayam. Both of them are cooling pranayam. So very good, very effective pranayam in hot season, in summer. It gives coolness to the mind, to the body. Even this Sitkari pranayam is helpful for the chain smokers. By practicing this pranayam, you can control that urge of smoking, and slowly day by day you will reduce the consumption, and maybe in the future, if you are practicing it regularly every day, maybe in the future you will give up it. That is a possibility. So you are producing a sound, C sound, that is why Sitkar. So those who are having hyperacidity, burning sensation, heart problems, hypertension, okay, then because of the hyperacidity, if you are having mouth ulcer or intestinal ulcer, for them also it is very effective. Shitali and Sitkari pranayam, both are cooling pranayam. And after practicing Bhastrika pranayam, for the counterbalance, you can practice 2-3 rounds of Shitali or Sitkari pranayam to avoid acidity. After this, we will try to practice Bhramari pranayam. In Bhramari pranayam, you are supposed to inhale through both the nostrils, exhale through both the nostrils, but exhale with the humming sound of a honeybee. Again, traditionally this pranayam is little different. Usually we inhale through both the nostrils, normal inhalation, and during exhalation you produce the sound. Whereas in the tradition, it is said that during inhalation you should produce the humming sound of a male bee, and during exhalation produce the humming sound of a female bee. It needs a practice, but it is possible to produce the sound during inhalation also. I will show you. I don't know whether he is able to produce sound during inhalation, but I will show you 3 rounds of Bhramari pranayam. But the first round is normal inhalation through both the nostrils. Then during exhalation you produce the sound, humming sound first, and from the second round of inhalation you will produce the humming sound during inhalation of a male bee, like this. Like this. But in the beginning, it is not necessary to produce the sound during inhalation. So you can only inhale, and during exhalation only you can continue this pranayam. Okay, 2 more rounds in this way. Keep your eyes closed as it is. Try to feel the same vibrations of humming sound of Bhramari Pranayam. Observe the silence, peace, calmness, coolness, pleasure and happiness around you and within you. And from here, we are going to enter in the stage of Dhyan, meditation.
Welcome to Heartfulness Meditation. Please approach this meditation with an attitude of openness to fresh experience. Heartfulness meditation is aided by a very subtle transformative energy called pranahuti or transmission. Choose a place where you can meditate without being distracted. Turn off your phone or any device that may disturb you. Make sure you're sitting comfortably. You can sit cross-legged or in a chair. Let your hands rest in your lap, loosely clasped. Let your eyes be closed gently. Let your back be upright but not rigid. Feel free to change your posture during meditation if you feel uncomfortable. We will begin with the simple practice of heartfulness relaxation. Once you feel relaxed, you will be guided into the heartfulness meditation. We will all meditate together in silence, so we may feel the peace that surfaces when we turn our attention inward and dive deep into our hearts. Through the heart, we find unity. Through the heart, we create a feeling of well-being. First, relax. Close your eyes very gently, very softly. We will begin with our toes. Move your toes. Relax them. Imagine the soothing, healing energy from the earth moving up into your feet, slowly relaxing them. Feel it relax your toes, the soles of your feet, your ankles. As this energy moves upwards, relax your calves, relax your knees. Feel it relax each and every muscle in your thighs deeply. Feel both your legs becoming totally relaxed. Relax your stomach, your waist, your hips. Let go of any tension or stress you may be holding there. And relax. Allow your back to soften. From your tailbone to your shoulders, feel your entire back relaxing. Relax your chest. Relax your shoulders. Let this healing energy from the earth melt away any tension or stress you may be holding on your shoulders. Feel your shoulders melt away and relax. As this energy moves down your arms, relax them. Feel it relax your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, your hands. Let the energy flow out of your fingertips, leaving both your arms deeply relaxed. Relax all the muscles in your neck. Bring your awareness to your face and relax it. Feel the healing energy from the earth. Relax your jaws, your mouth, your lips. Feel your ears relax. Breathe normally. Relax your nose. Keep your eyes softly closed. Relax them. Relax your forehead. Feel all the tension, stress, and anxiety there simply melt away. As this healing energy from the earth moves further upwards, relax your entire head all the way to the base of your skull. Feel now how your whole body is totally relaxed. Take a moment, scan your system from top to toe. And if there is any part of your body that is still tense, painful, or unwell, feel it being immersed in the healing energy of the earth for a little while longer. When you're ready, move your attention to your heart. Rest there for a little while. Feel immersed in the love and light in your heart. Now, we will meditate together. Make a suggestion that the source of divine light that is already present inside your heart is attracting your attention towards it. Gently relax into that feeling. Let it be a very light suggestion, without force or concentration. If you find your awareness drifting to other thoughts, do not fight them, but also do not entertain them. Let them be like clouds passing in the sky. Gently remind yourself that you're meditating on the source of divine light in your heart. Be open and receptive to the transmission that will be flowing into you. Allow your awareness to melt into your heart. Remain absorbed within your heart until you hear the meditation has ended. Please start meditation. That's all. Keep your eyes closed for a little while longer and tune in to how you feel. Absorb all the peace that you have experienced. Now, imagine that this peace is expanding outward to everyone, uniting everything around you, and is encircling the world. When you open your eyes, take the time to enjoy the experience. You can write your experience in a journal. It will help you to develop awareness and observation. We thank you for expanding this feeling of peace, unity, and well-being around the world.